Welcome to Review with the Opposition, speaking to Jonny Bullock, who very kindly came on our show last week to give us his view of all things Middlesbrough from the Boro Breakdown Podcast. Jonny, good evening.
Good evening, Henry. How are we doing?
Not too bad. After Saturday's, I don't really know how to describe that victory. After Saturday's sort of hanging on for dear life by the end of it, sort of victory. What from a Middlesbrough perspective, what went right on Saturday? What potentially went wrong on Saturday?
I think Middlesbrough just played to Millwall's strengths, really. I know we said on your podcast that if Middlesbrough try and get in behind and don't try and cross the ball at the box, we might be able to create a few chances.
Yeah.
But we did exactly what we said we shouldn't do, and it made it quite an easy afternoon for Millwall. Really, I thought you were thoroughly deserving of the points as well. So I have no complaints on my end. I think that
Interesting.
Although my prediction was 3-0 Middlesbrough, when I watched the game and I watched how Millwall played, you were very compact. You made things difficult for us. We did create chances, but I don't think you can pinpoint one clear-cut chance that Middlesbrough had all game. And you've got to have that to score goals, haven't you? So we didn't do any of that, and I thought Millwall were pretty much well-deserving of victory, to be honest.
Maybe George Saville's shot in the second half. I mean, it's interesting you say that. I thought first half, I think it's one of the only times this season where we've had marginally, very, very marginally more possession than the other side. Second half, for me, it must have been something like 70-30 to you. I think it felt like you had a lot of possession. I noticed, actually, Neil Warnock mentioned that he thought his strikers maybe were lacking a cutting edge or any sort of dynamicism. That was one of the comments that I've read from him. Was that something that you sort of maybe thought during the game? Because it wasn't until he said that, but I thought, yeah, actually, I think Bart Bilakowski, our keeper, only had 2 saves to make, one of which was sort of point blank in the first half, and the George Saville one in the second, which I've got to be honest, I think if Saville puts that either side of him, it's a goal.
Yeah, that's it, but it was never really a clear-cut chance, was it? So I don't really know. I think Bilakowski, I can never pronounce his name.
Bilakowski,
yeah, he hasn't really had a save to make, to be honest, throughout the game, and Warnock's comments were very much just, our strikers weren't good enough on the day. They haven't been for the majority of the season. I don't think Akpom or Fletcher had a touch within the box, really. I don't think you can think of one touch they had. So, yeah, it was a bit of a weird game, wasn't it? I felt like the second half was always going to be a bit of like the Alan Moore from Boro. They were going to try and give him everything. But we just played to your strengths. We tried to get the ball out wide and knock it in the box. So you might have had sore heads by the end of it, but I don't know. It's hard for us now. I think we're very one-dimensional at the minute, and maybe we need to adjust the way we go forward. And maybe we should have took a leaf out of Jed Wallace's book in the first half, and try and get the through ball in and try and get someone to run onto it. And but we didn't do any of that, so it's fair enough, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought the. What was your thoughts about the officiating? I think Warnock at the end was upset with the amount of injury time, and I've got to be honest, when they put up 3 minutes, I was like, because I counted at least, I don't know, eight substitutions.
Should have been 5, shouldn't it?
Yeah,
should have been on 5 or 6.
And it usually is, right? I mean, every single time, almost every game I've watched this year, it's been minimum of 4. He comes up with 3, and I was like, even I couldn't really get my head around that, so I understood why he was a bit upset.
Mate, yeah. It was never 3 minutes, was it? It should have been 4 or 5, but I think with the officiating in the EFL anyway, it's a shambles, and we've had bad referees throughout the majority of the season. If you look at the Boro Breakdown Twitter page, we did like a small thread of it, or 1 or 2 posts on the decisions that have went against us this season. Some of them, mate, oh my god, laughable. But yeah, the 3 minutes was a bit too short. But come on, were Boro ever going to score in those remaining minutes? I don't think they were. So I think we could be still playing right now, and we probably wouldn't have scored.
Yeah, it's just, again, it just shows me the mercenary nature of the Championship, because again, I would I didn't necessarily disagree with you after coming off the back of that QPR loss. I thought we're going to be exhausted. We're not. It's interesting.
Yeah.
We had a number of changes, two of which were our midfielders. One midfielder, Billy Mitchell, who's a young lad, 20 years old, come from our youth academy, and Danny McNamara at right back, who both actually had very solid games. So I think we did change things up a bit. Scott Malone came in. I thought he had a good game. But yeah, it was interesting. Well, look, you're still above us in the table. Best of luck. I think you've got Bournemouth, which is a big 6-pointer now for you, really, in the next game. Is that right, after the international break?
Yeah, it's massive, isn't it? It's massive. It's such a shame that we didn't take advantage of Barnsley and Reading losing at the weekend. So if we beat Millwall there, it would have been 3 points. You know, we've got Bournemouth there. Jonathan Woodgate's the manager at the minute, and it would be it's a bit of a tasty fixture, isn't it? So
yes,
yeah, it's an interesting one. I do feel confident going to Bournemouth. Strangely enough, I don't know why I do, but I feel like we can get a result there, and maybe we can start to think of the possibility of playoffs. But I don't think we'll get it, to be honest, Henry. But it's a big game nevertheless.
Well, look, best of luck for the rest of the season. If you don't make the playoffs and you're not promoted, I look forward to us maybe having another chat next season. Maybe even in person. Who knows? Yeah,
it'd be nice, that, wouldn't it? It'd be nice to speak in person. But I think we'll speak next year, Henry. Don't worry about that.
Great. All right. Well, listen, Johnny, fantastic. It's been great to talk to you. Good luck and speak soon.
Perfect. Speak to you soon, mate. Thanks for having me on.
It's Jonny Bullock there from the Boro Breakdown. I don't know if many of you have listened to Gary Rowett's post-match comments. I always think they're very tactically astute. He talks about wanting to bring people in the summer. He talks about, how good a side it is together, how good we are defensively, and how sometimes it looks like the 5-3-2 is a defensive formation, but actually when you build from the back like we did against Boro, we come out with the results. Of course, we're going into an international break. Good luck to those people going away with their respective sides. We'll be back speaking to Rotherham for View from the Opposition after this break. Until then, look forward to it. Come on, you Lions.